people are hard to come by these days. So many people are selfish. So many people are jealous of other people. So many people are envious, right? It's just so much debauchery that goes on today, especially in America. Nobody wants to do good by their fellow human beings. Everybody is trying to one up the next person. And honestly speaking, it's hard being a good human being amongst so much evil. It's hard being a good human being amongst, vultures, right? Coyotes, right? Just the undesirables of society. And we've reached a point in society where a good majority of the people are the undesirables. Thank you, social media. Thank you, social media, for socially programming people to believe that mediocrity is the way to go. Thank you, social media, for programming people to stab each other in the back. That is where we are nowadays, right? And people wonder why, friend groups are dwindling, especially amongst men, right? It's because mediocrity is the standard, right? And probably some of you may not understand, well, how is me wanting to live life on an average salary? How is that? Because it is the refusal to raise the standard. It is the refusal to hold everybody accountable. It is the refusal to move when you need to move, when especially your survival is on the line. It doesn't even matter if survival is on the line. People will still settle in their mediocrity. People will still settle in their poverty mindset. But the best moment of it all is they will project all of that onto society, right? They will project that into their friend groups, so-called friend groups. They will project that amongst their families, right? And slowly but surely turning society into a bunch of zombies, right? It's almost, it doesn't even matter where you go in America nowadays, right? Everybody is rude. Everybody is, and when I say everybody, I'm talking about a good majority, right? Listen, you can give your own opinion down in the comment section, but I will say a good majority are undesirable human beings. Yes, I will take it as far to say that. A good majority. There is a small pocket of people, right? Which you do come across these people. There's a small pocket of people, small demographic of people, right? Who you can tell are the sweetest people. You can tell that they wear the goodness on their shoulders, right? It doesn't matter if they get treated horribly. Their lives are going good enough to where they treat people with respect. They treat people with a high enough standard, right? But as far as the rest of everybody else, rude, right? Angry all the time, right? Hate is just in their spirit, right? And if you don't have authority over yourself, right? If you have no control over yourself, it rubs off onto you, right? So when people are hateful, when people are envious, when people are jealous, right? You could be the nicest person. You could have started off as the nicest person. You could have started off as the sweetest person, right? But you let yourself sit and fester in that environment for so long, right? Whether that's that city you've been in, whether that's that state that you've been in, you let yourself sit in that environment for so long, right? You absorbed that energy. You absorb that hatefulness. You absorb that envious. It's only so much that you can fight until eventually you become that which of the environment that you are in, right? It's inevitable, right? That's something that you can't control for long. It is going to happen. So yes, a lot of people are hateful, and you can tell other people have absorbed that, right? Other people have absorbed this hateful energy that is just taking over the spirit of America, right? The envious energy, the jealousy energy that is just in the spirit of America now, right? The crabs in a bucket mentality has spread all across the nation. Yes, right? They only let the elites get by. That's all. If you're anybody else other than the elites, oh, you can't climb the ladder. Oh, who do you think you are? Right? If you're good looking, tall, handsome, ladies, you voluptuous, right? In shape, pretty, right? They hate you. Right? You're trying to think outside the box. You're trying to be successful. Oh, Lord, they hate you. Right? Like I said, it's only small niche circles where success exists, right? And they're big upping each other. Small circles, not large circles, not the country in mass. The country in mass is lost, right? And I just want to know, like, who's raising these people? Right? Who's raising these kids? Gen Z is effed. Right? Who's raising these people? Who is teaching the standards? Right? Besides the after pill. Right? Besides the inner circle, who's teaching the standards? Right? But besides Marquette Devon Burton, right? Besides dang, I know his name. What's his name? Besides Coach, right? Who is teaching the standard, especially amongst men? Nobody. Nobody's teaching the standard. Nobody is setting the standard. Look at the state of the political class. Have you seen these ninjas? Right? They fat and sloppy. They have no standards themselves. They eating kids. Right? That is the standard. America has set the standard already. That the standard is so low. Right? It is so low amongst us now. Where rudeness is just, oh, that's just normal. Oh, you can't get upset. You can't get upset with words. Right? Makes no sense. Right? The same ones talking about some, oh, you shouldn't let words get to you. These are the same ones who are reading the Bible when the Bible clearly states that words have power and there's death and life in the tongue. These same backwards as Christians are the same ones trying to toot this backwards messaging, right? It's all hypocrisy. Like I said, who's raising these people? Right? People are not raising their kids. Can't be. Not with these standards. These children, not even just the children. It's the children and the adults. They have no respect for anything or anybody. They have no respect. They have no human decency. Right? Have no decorum all across the board. Right? It's hard to find good people nowadays. Right? It's hard to find good people. Ladies, I understand. Ladies, it's hard to find a good man out here. Right? Guys, gentlemen, it's hard to find a good woman out here. Because everybody is so self-absorbed. Right? Everybody is so tuned into just one-upping each other. Right? Everybody want to talk about unity. Fuck unity. It ain't happening. If you didn't watch my video, a few videos down, I said the only way to fix this issue is if in mass, people as individuals start loving themselves. That is the only way to fix this. Because when people start loving themselves, then they will project that out into the world. But we have so much hate, especially in this country, especially in America. We have so much hate now because people hate themselves. They hate their lives. They hate their husbands. They hate their kids. They hate their wives. They hate their side pieces. Jesus, what's going on? They hate their jobs. It is so much hate. So much hate circulating. Right? So people project that into their everyday activities. People project that into their driving. People project that into their kids. You got parents out here indirectly teaching their children hate. And we wonder why the world is so messed up. We wonder why the country is so messed up. There's no empathy being taught in a household. There's no respect being taught in a household. It isn't. It isn't. Society will look totally different if respect was being taught in the household. It would. Right? But instead, this is what we have. And what's so sad about it, you even have the elderly. You have the elderly acting all out of whack. The elderly. I told y'all, man, listen. A lot of these so-called elders, man, they don't have nothing together. They're just as twisted and just as debaucherous as anybody else. You would think that they lived long enough to learn these lessons, but they ain't learned a goddamn gone thing. They ain't learned a thing about life. And this is what I keep telling y'all. There's plenty of young people, you would think that they live 3 lives already. You would think that they live 3 lives already with the amount of wisdom and knowledge that they have about life. But when you talk to some of these elders, when you talk to some of these middle-aged adults, right? Really children, right? When you talk to some of these grown babies, you would think that they were 16 years old. You would think that some of these grown adults, elderlies, were 14 years old. The way that they act, the way that they treat people, the way that they present themselves to society, you would think that these mofos are 14 years old. But no, they're your 40-year-olds, they're your 50-year-olds, they're your 60-year-olds, they're your 70-year-olds. And these are the ones who are so-called leading society right now. This is the class who are leading society right now. The boomers. The boomers. And you can throw in Gen X in there too. These are the ones who are leading society. These are the ones who are teaching the youth, right? All of this hate. They're teaching the youth how to treat other human beings, right? Because the youth have no choice but to see what is going on around them, right? This is how children learn. They learn by actively seeing what the adults are doing. And what the adults are actively doing. Well, we see all around us what the adults are actively doing, right? They ain't doing a goddamn gone thing. And if they are doing something, they going the opposite way, which is no way headed fast. It's hard to find good people. Good people. Pat yourself on the back if you proud yourself with being a man or a woman with high character, right? With principles that you live by, right? With truth that you live by, because those people are hard to come by, right? You are a rare person. Listen, I already know I'm a rare breed, right? That's why I can't exist amongst the general population. I can't, right? The general population irks me. It irks me to be a part of the general population. It irks me to be amongst such evil, such chaos, right? People operate in lies and deceit. It irks me, right? That kind of environment, it makes me wanna jump. It makes me want to jump and slap a mofo. So this is why I'm moving forward into removing myself from this environment. I have to remove myself from a country like America. I have to find my solid ground. I have to find where my peace is, right? And that's why I will be leaving America, right? Soon. I will be leaving, uprooting everything and starting brand new. I can't do this anymore. This environment you can't grow in this environment. Is it still good for business? Absolutely. Is it still good for capitalism? Absolutely. Can you still make a ton of money if you are a thinker, right? And you think outside the box and you're not thinking like the sheep which the bottom 90% of people are, absolutely, you can make a shit ton of money. Right? Especially from the bottom 90%, because they ain't gonna do nothing in the first place. They ain't gonna overthrow the government. They ain't stopping nothing anytime soon. So you might as well go ahead and make moolah from their ass anyway. Yep, I said it. So I am removing myself from America. Right? And if you want to keep tabs on that, if you want to learn yourself, if you want to learn exactly what I'm doing to uproot myself from America, if you want to know the skills that I'm learning, if you want to know the AI that I'm learning, if you want to know the app development, web development skills that I now have to be able to go and support myself in another country, listen, hit that link in the description, come over and join the Patreon. And if you want to take it a step further, come and join the inner circle. It is a circle full of guys who are headed in the same direction. And that is to the top 10, top 20% of people in health, wealth, and everything else. All right. Hit that link in the description if you want to learn something. Hit that link in the description if you want to change your mindset to be able to survive in the new world. Listen, I have discounts right now. I have discounts stretching into June, right? 40% discount. Come over before it's too late. Come over before the prices go up, because they will go up as we get deeper and deeper into what we need to get into, right? So hit that link in the description and I'll see you guys over there. Listen, the after pill is the ideology. The escape blueprint is the framework. And PFP life is how you should live, in purpose, in freedom, and in power. I see you guys over there. Peace.
I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here, and I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint, PFP life, a way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The escape blueprint, PFP life.